Hi folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. I'm here today with my much better half, Linda, who is going to help me put some of these reports together. And what I wanted to talk about today is something that has really affected you, Linda, in the past, is getting bit by a tick. It was over a year ago. You and I were sitting outside for the eclipse in lawn chairs on our lawn, and that's how you got the tick on you. But I want people to understand that this is really a big issue if we're talking about fishing or talking about being in any endeavor in the outdoors, that we're really susceptible to these ticks. And now there's a new tick in our area that I wanted to tell you about. It's called the Lone Star tick, and it was prevalent all over the eastern United States back in the 1800s. And it sort of dwindled in its coverage when we started deforesting much of the area. And this tick is carried by white-tailed deer, just like the Lyme disease tick. So it's something that so I want you to realize, not all ticks will bite people, but this form of a tick will certainly bite people. In fact, it's the adult females that are the most aggressive that way. Now, how we would ever know whether it was a female or a male, but one of the things that characterizes this tick is it's got they call it a lone star. It's got a star on its back. It actually looks like a white dot, don't you think, Linda?
Yes, it almost looks like whiteout. If you're familiar with that product, when you use whiteout on documents, it looks like someone dropped a drop of whiteout on the back of this tick.
Well, here's what I want you all to really realize is this tick causes an illness that's different than Lyme disease. It's a very different illness, and actually my dad suffered with this for years before he died, because my mom and dad lived down in Virginia for several years, and there's so many ticks down there, it's unbelievable. So anyway, somebody that's bitten by this tick can develop an allergy, and now this is going to sound bizarre to all of you listening, an allergy to beef. And I know they had to take Dad to the hospital a few times in Virginia, and they didn't know what in the world, and he always figured it was coming from this tick that had bitten him. But anyway, it caused his whole body to swell up and rashes and tough time breathing. And it came about when he would eat a cheeseburger or something. He loved McDonald's cheeseburgers, and this was something that really affected him. And they say now that the first person has died in New Jersey from this allergy to beef caused from getting bit by this tick. So I think we should all be aware of it, because ticks can be any place, like what happened to you, Linda, in our yard. They can be in your lawn,
Yes.
and of course in the woods.
I guess perhaps the most important thing to tell your listeners is to be prepared. When they go outside, spray with some type of product that might have cedar oil in it. You can buy it any place, really. But it's a way to be prepared when you want to enjoy the outdoors. And when you come inside, make sure that you check body parts, that you're, looking at your clothes so that you're sure that you get them.
And I've talked about this before, but the first thing they recommend is if you do have a tick on your body, you have to remove it immediately. And don't wait till you get to a doctor to have them remove it, because it can be too late by that time. And the best way to remove them, they claim, is with I started saying needle nose pliers. I guess that would be a heck of a... Yeah.
Tweezers, yes.
Tweezers.
Yeah. And that's exactly how I removed mine. And the fear is something that will cause you to go a little bit crazy, because you don't want to have something like that on you. But information is critical. So if folks can be prepared with information and the proper spray to make sure that they're, protected, and when they come in, just check their garments. Make sure that they're not bringing ticks inside.
And again, ticks thrive in moisture. They thrive. So if you think you're going to get rid of them by sticking your clothes in the washing machine, it's not going to work. The only way, what you have to do
is put them in the dryer.
Yep, the heat. They can't survive the heat.
Yes.
And that's just run them through cycles in the dryer where they get really hot, and that will kill the ticks that are on your clothes. And it's important that if you do get bitten, you develop that rash or whatever, that you get antibiotic as soon as possible, because
seek medical attention.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because tick-borne illnesses are really, really critical. You know, like I said, not all ticks bite people. The moose populations in Quebec are actually, they suffer tremendously. A lot of die-offs of the moose by getting hundreds of thousands of moose ticks on them. And these ticks won't bite people. And it's important that we realize that not all is the same. So now we have two ticks to worry about in our area, the Lyme disease ticks and these Lone Star ticks, probably named from Texas. But anyway, they are prevalent. Until next time, folks, this is Don and Linda with the North Country Fishing Report.